People have asked me how I could stand to spend so much time, 2 years. Some of my stories go back to 2010, so 8 years in some cases, in material that's this dark. But actually, I wrote the book through the lens of writing about these heroic people who were fighting back at every juncture. And so this is families and first responders foremost. I tell the story of the epidemic as I witnessed it landing in 3 different communities in Virginia, starting with the coal fields. But I begin the history of that section by focusing on a rural country doctor named Art Van Zee, who was really the first physician in the country to pick up the phone and call Purdue Pharma and say, I know it says on your insert that this drug is not addictive in all but less than 1% of cases, but we've got high schoolers ODing in the library. So this first group of people, families, community activists, an octogenarian nun, all of whom are sort of fighting back, trying to get the public to pay attention that what we have is kind of the canary in the coal fields here. The second community I focus on is Roanoke, Virginia, where I've been following some families since 2010. That was about the time heroin really landed in a big way here. I tell this story through a single cell, an upper middle class neighborhood where the kids were able to actually hide their addiction longer, and the parents who were in on the secret had the money to send them away to rehab, and were too ashamed to let people on. And so the addiction grew sort of cloaked in stigma and shame. And the third location, by the mid-teens, even in pristine farm villages such as Woodstock, Virginia, where I follow the travails of a local high school football star who crosses paths with a twice convicted drug dealer who arrives in town and ends up turning one town with a handful of heroin users into hundreds almost overnight. Trying to answer the question for yet another grieving mother, how did my burly, bright, high school football star son, who was a construction worker, never missed a day of work, how did he end up overdosed on somebody else's bathroom floor? Doctors have stopped prescribing opioids largely at the rate that they once were, but right now we have more than 2 million people addicted, and the horse is already out of the barn. So the book also shows you people fighting back, trying to bring harm reduction initiatives to their communities, and try to drastically expand medication-assisted treatment. But through it all, the one through line of it all is this element of stigma. And it's really going to take people understanding that addiction is a chronic relapsing disease, and that we should be talking about it the same way we talk about cancer. And to just sort of remind me of what I hope this book will do. I keep a photo. This is Nicholas, one of the mothers that I write about, gave me, and I have a picture of her daughter on one side, whose story I followed for 2.5 years, and I keep James Baldwin on the other, because he said, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. And that's really what I'm hoping this book does. It tells us how we got to where we are today, and through these heroic people, it shows us how we're going to get our way out of this.
Hey Mavis,